Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. One of the normalities of life of today in education is that everyone has a tutor. It seems like every single student has a private tutor. A lot of educators are either for or against it for a number of reasons. I've been a tutor for about, I would say, I don't know how many years. Well, when I was younger, I would always tutor, like not be paid, but like help out my friends in school. So we'd have like a homework club at lunchtime and I'd be the one that's helping everyone else out, but at the same time I'm learning, so I find that it just reinforces your own understanding. Tutoring still is amazing for enhancing my own brain capacity and my own intelligence, because there are things that I just have forgotten about, and when I go back to teach it to someone, it just reminds me of, you know, it takes me back to the time that I had to learn it, and it's just, for me, education is really enjoyable and fun, and I love it when I see someone learn, and I love it when I'm able to be that person that instills that understanding in someone. So I thought I would tell you how to become a tutor. Not just any tutor, but how can I be a tutor that is a high-paying tutor? So there are tutors called super tutors, and these are tutors that earn like 50, 100, 200, even 250 pounds an hour. I actually saw an advert the other day for a tutor in Kensington for 250 pounds an hour. I applied for it, I didn't get it, but I was absolutely astounded by the fact that there was even a position where they paid 250 pounds for 1 hour. Finding someone that will pay that much will obviously be just few and far between. However, it's not impossible to earn that much per hour by yourself if you really want to and if you knew how to. I have about 5-6 tips that I think would help in trying to find students and trying to be able to earn at least 50 pounds an hour, if not 100, if not more. So let's get right into it. My first number one tip is to use a public space or to use a library instead of using like booking your own rooms or paying for somewhere to go. Use a public space. South Bank Centre in Waterloo is another nice one where people can go, and it's somewhere that you don't have to be silent, but you can work quietly. It makes for the perfect environment to tutor a student. Just tell them to come there. It's public, so you know, obviously it's safe, and you know, it's somewhere that you don't have to pay, so essentially all the money that you're making is profit. If the student isn't happy with you going to their house, instead of, you know, hiring a space, just go to somewhere public. My number 2 tip is to tutor a number of students at the same time. So kind of make your own tuition company in a way without having to hire a room. So let's say you were to go to the South Bank Centre, there are tables there where you can have 5 or 6 students, for example, and if you were to have 5 or 6 students there at the same time, and you were to obviously plan what each person would do in advance, let's just say they paid £10 an hour, even though that's quite little, £10 an hour, you have 5 students, that's £50 in that hour, which obviously you're more likely to get 5 students paying £10 than you are to get 1 student paying £50. So definitely trying to find students. If you come across a student that's interested in tutoring, ask them, do you know anyone else that wants to be tutored, and then double up with them and offer them a cheaper rate. So instead of, maybe, because for me, if I was going to tutor, let's say GCSE, I would ask for like 30 or 35 or even 40. So instead of offering 40 for one person, say to them, look, I can offer you 20 if you have someone else there, and then that will just increase kind of how many people you have, and then that will increase how much you also make as a result of it. If you're able to have 10 students, for example, that all pay £10 an hour, that's £100 for that 1 hour. Yes, it might be more hard work, and yes, obviously it's not one-to-one, but that's why the price that you're offering them is cheaper. I think in this, like in London, if you're someone who obviously has a degree and you want to be a tutor, for GCSE, about £30, £25–30 is sort of the amount that you'd ask for. And at A level, about £35 is kind of £30–35 is the amount, and then if you're teaching a degree level, then £40, £50. But obviously it depends on what area you come from, what area you live in, and what area the student lives in, because you can obviously get way more than that depending on where you are living. I would say never to reduce your worth, so don't offer something lower just because you would rather have them than not. But do offer discounts. So if you know that student is interested in 2 hours, when you speak to the parent, tell them that if you have 2 hours or 3 hours, I will give you an hour for free, or I'll give you half an hour for free, or something like that. That makes the parent more likely to accept you, because at least then they know that they're getting kind of more value for money. It's a bit like buy one get one free from the stores or something like that, you know, especially if you are someone who has qualifications and are someone who has a good reputation in the tutoring community, then it's definitely something to go for. If you are able to do a course, that will bring in even more revenue, because it's sort of like a short intensive couple of days, or maybe a week or 2 weeks or whatever it is, where that student has paid kind of a lump sum. So let's say for the week of a course they pay, I don't know, £200-300. That's just one student, and if you have 10 students, that's £2,000 in a week. Obviously logistically you have to figure out printing and things like that, and you offer your own services. But offering courses is a bit more it's more lucrative than offering just classes where you kind of have to go every single week, and a commitment needs to be there, because it's not nice for a student to have a tutor come in and come out and come in and come out. So having sort of a course where it's like quick, intensive, you know, you have an agenda for that week. This week we're going to learn this, this and this, and that's what they expect to learn, and that's just the week, and that's the end of it. And then you can have another course maybe in another month or two, or whatever it was that you're interested in. So definitely offering courses instead of like tuition classes would bring in more, would make you super tutored as well. The next tip is try to advertise, or try to be present in more affluent areas. It can be hard to get into that market, especially if you have never entered it before and you don't know anyone, because a lot of tutoring jobs a lot of the time come from word of mouth. So one family really likes you, they tell their cousins or aunties or uncles or friends and neighbors that they have you and they want you, and it keeps on going like that. But it's hard to break into an affluent market if you haven't already got in there. The way that I recommend doing that is try to advertise in those areas. So have flyers, you know, those ones that have the little the cut off at the bottom. You can make those online for free. Have those, maybe stick them up in local newsagents where those people will be shopping. Put your services on Gumtree. Maybe offer an hour for free, just so people can get into your, you know, people can come into the door. And then after that, you can obviously, if you know that you are worthy, if you know that you're a good tutor, then offering 1 hour for free is actually an investment for you. And it's not something that you'll lose out on, because you know that student will keep on coming to you. My next tip is to be an online tutor. Now I know that this is sort of like a new generation type of thing, being a tutor on Skype, or I don't know, other programs that there might be out there, but there are a lot of online like tuition kind of websites that students can sign up to and pay you. Now they might pay a bit less, but you can have more students in that room, like on that website, on the live feed. I don't know how it works. I've only done it once or twice, I think. Of course, you are not one-to-one and you can't see what the student's doing, especially subjects like maths and science. You really need to be kind of on the ball with what they're doing. Easy, because you can literally just sit at home in the privacy of your own home. You don't have to leave the house. I think it's a new wave of tuition style, but it's definitely something to consider. My last tip is to advertise on tutoring websites. Now these are kind of like tuition consultancies or like agencies, and you as a tutor, you don't pay anything. So for example, on Tutor Hunt, I found a tutee on there. So on Tutor Hunt, you as a tutor don't pay anything, but they pay something when you and them have a conversation and decide that you agree that you want to take them on. You put your details, your information, and then all you do is wait, and students come to you, and you even put your price there as well, so they know how much you're going to charge, and they don't waste your time by, you know, inquiring, and you know that their budget is not does not correlate with your budget. Also, Tavistock Tutors is a really good one. They usually deal with more of an affluent market. There are loads of other ones as well, by the way, but Tavistock is one that I applied for and I got it in. Their market is an affluent one, so the kind of families and students that they will bring in are ones that are willing to pay 50, 60, 70, 80 pounds an hour. So even if they take off 5-10% commission, you're still earning way more than if you just found a tutee by yourself. For an agency, sometimes is annoying because of the commission that they do take off, but if their starting price is already much higher, then it's totally fine, because you're going to actually take home at least 50 or 60 pounds an hour, even after the commission has been taken off. As a tutor, it's your duty, it's imperative that you remember that that is a parent that is paying 30, 40, 50 pounds an hour for you to give their child the best education. Clearly they think that school is not enough, or that child needs more. I find it really upsetting and really sad when I see that tutors are not doing the best for their students, especially when parents are paying so much and really hoping that their child excels. So if you're thinking of being a tutor, remember that it's not just it's not easy money. It's something that you need to think about. You need to plan each lesson. I always have resources, I always have printouts, I always think about everything that the student's going to do for that hour, just to make sure that they maximize it. And even if they don't finish the work after the hour, I might stay 5-10 minutes and not get paid for it, just because I think to myself, you know, it's not all about the money. At the same time, you have to remember that this is a child's life that this parent has put into your hands. They're paying with their own hard-earned money, whether they can afford it or not. They're still paying you. So I think that would be my one thing to take away. As a tutor, please be someone who you would want for your own child. Don't think of it as just any other job, because it really isn't. It's really an intimate job, and it's a really special job that a parent is giving you to educate their child. So that would be my takeaway tip. Just be the best tutor, and then more people will come to you, and that's just more students, and you can be a super tutor in that way. That's the end of the video. I really hope that was helpful. These are all the tips that I've acquired over the years of trying to be a tutor and trying to find students, because it isn't easy, but it definitely is worthwhile once you have those students, and once you are teaching them and just seeing them grow and seeing them excel in subjects and just seeing happy parents. I think it's really rewarding. Do let me know if there are any other tips, and yeah, I would love to know, because I always want to become better at the end of the day. So do let me know, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye.